Beautiful Dr. Deb. Thank you so
Beautiful Wendy.
thank you for being here. Welcome to Coffee Chats. These
Oh,
are so fun, and I'm seeing your beautiful earrings and realizing that I forgot to wear my butterfly necklace like I promised to. I
oh, I
didn't get
wanted
it.
to see it.
I'm gonna hold, please. I'll stop recording and run upstairs and get it. It's really beautiful and it matches your earrings. I think you'll love it.
Please get it because then we have something really special to talk about.
Okay, yay. Hold,
Okay.
please.
All right.
All right, I am back.
Oh,
Let's see. And it looks only gold right now, but
uh-huh.
it's lavender. So
Oh, that's my favorite color.
I figured by your beautiful wall behind you, and I have this darling tulle skirt that looks like I'm dancing in the Nutcracker when I wear it, and it's
Oh,
so cute, and it's lavender. And my beautiful daughter, Amelia, when she was maybe 4,
oh,
had the same one, like a
oh.
similar
Yeah,
lavender tutu.
yeah.
And we had the most fun spring photo shoot on the lawn of the house, sitting on the grass in our big lavender tutus with baby chicks walking on it. It was like so fun.
Okay, you should email that to me.
I will. I will. I have to write that down because I have two speeds right now or not at all. So I will write that down that I'm going to do that for you. Otherwise, it
Well,
will.
that means I'm going to get it.
I know. I'm so
You're
excited.
not
Okay.
saying, sure, I'll do it. You're saying, I'm going to write it down and I am going to do it.
That's right. This is how things happen for me. Okay. Send chick photo to Dr. Deb. Okay. So now everybody knows that's watching. These really are live and unedited. So
And you stopped recording, so
I did stop recording to go get my
I
necklace
know. So I'm
because I
just
didn't
saying,
want
I just want to
everyone
make
to
sure.
leave.
I want to make sure you start recording.
Yes. Oh, I did do that, right? Yes, we're recording.
We're recording. Okay,
We are.
good.
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. So thank
Oh,
you so much for being here. It is such a joy to see your beautiful face again, to be in your beautiful energy and to share those two things plus your beautiful wisdom with our viewers in
yeah.
real time. So thank you.
How fun is this going to be? Because we had so much fun
Hmm.
when we did our interview, and I don't know how many people I'd want to have a coffee chat with at this time. However, I was ready to get some big energy. I go, having coffee chat with you would be better than having a cup of coffee
Aw, thank you.
because you're better than coffee. You have more energy. And I'm drinking a cup of coffee. So I have coffee and I have Wendy together. So I'm ready.
That's right. And I'm on the East Coast, so I've been caffeinating since 5 a.m. So I'm super ready.
Well, that means that you're going to fill me up with anything that I need because you are the energy queen, if you ask
Oh,
me.
well, I appreciate and receive that. Thank
Good.
you. And I feel like worthy of the crown
Oh,
today
wonderful.
because today has been such a beautiful morning of connection with the divine,
Oh,
connection
wonderful.
with my inner wisdom and how those are the same. And I am so lit up about what is now and
Yeah.
what is coming
Mhm.
and how I can map the trajectory of how I got here. And because I can, I don't kind of quantify it in a way, I can invite other people into that.
Wow.
Right. So,
Yeah.
similarly to you and your journey, to health and going on the last diet of your life in your 50s and like just changing this lifestyle. You saw I was here, now I'm here. I was awake and aware in this moment of time, and now
Yep.
I can help others on this journey, and not in a way that says, look at me, I figured it out, but come with me. Come with me. The path is fresh. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
identified some potholes that I would love to lovingly steer you around or offer you a hand if you fall in anyway. But it's just this gorgeous collective rising that feels so good to be on the edge of.
Well, I will tell you, it has been a journey and is still a journey. And I would say that when I was in my 50s and there was a lot of upheaval, which was, I think, for most women as we go through menopause, and I'm just saying 50s, for some people it's earlier, some people it's a little bit later, but it is a time of transformation. And I believe we're all called to transform. And the way that we're called to transform is not in a comfortable way.
Right.
It's not comfortable. So I had a lot of discomfort then, and it served me well. It served me well. And I love to teach women, even now, that discomfort is not your enemy.
Right.
Discomfort is actually your friend. And instead of trying to push it away or resist it, you want to allow it in and feel whatever it is going on. And it sounds a little bit like a cliche, but I think that we're all a little afraid of
Yeah.
feeling uncomfortable, of negative emotion, negative feelings. I think we're all a little frightened of it. And I think why is because we think we'll end up enveloped by it and we won't be able to do anything else. It'll just take us over. So we just push it away and try to stay as far away from it as we can. And one of the ways that we can do that is when eating when you're not hungry. The
Mm,
easiest way
right.
is if you're not hungry and you're putting food in your mouth, good question to ask is what don't you want to feel?
Right. We talked about this on the podcast.
Yes, we did.
Overeating is an indicator of underfeeling.
And you're the one that coined that,
Mm.
and
It's so
I'm going to use it,
yes.
but
I
it
heard it from
really
my friend, but
it
yes.
but
Yeah.
when I think about my 50s and I was practicing chiropractor. I had my own practice with my husband. We've been running it for 30 something years. And I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And it was a really uncomfortable feeling. And my mind had so many ideas for me like, what are you talking about? This is what you wanted to do. And what's your husband going to do? And what are you going to do? And
You've arrived. Why are you talking about starting over?
exactly, exactly. And so the easiest way not to have to talk about that to myself, is just go out and eat and drink and have a good time and tell myself, life is a blast. I'm having a great time. And
Exactly.
actually, it's when I stopped doing that is when I actually made my one of my transformations into a different career. And because if I was going to feel it, which I was, it actually led me to a place where I don't know, it's like 15, 20 years later, 15 years later, and I'm not a chiropractor anymore. And I'm sitting here on Zoom with you doing what I do all the time. Can hardly believe it when it first started. Like, I don't have to go into an office.
Right.
I don't even have to take insurance. No offense to insurance, but and all I get to do is to help people see. what they cannot see, because that's what I was doing the whole time I was in chiropractic anyways. I would just like to sit
Right,
down and talk to people and never adjust them. And I would think I was having a great time and they'd probably get well anyway.
right, right, right. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so much in here that I'm really eager to unpack and chat about more because
Okay.
we talked about this midlife stirring
Yes, ma'am.
and then the talking ourselves out of it, which
Yes,
we do
ma'am.
because we think we can't upset the apple cart. We missed
Yep.
our chance. We should have changed majors in college when we first had that. In whatever reason
Right.
we're
Exactly.
giving, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are so many steps that just to get to the trailhead of what's next is this acknowledgement
Yeah.
that we want something more,
Yeah.
this appreciation that our knower is working rather than the discouragement of feeling dissatisfied or like we did it wrong or who do we think we are to want something more when we've got this great thing, whatever, all of that
Right.
conditioning. Why can't you just be happy? Because that is that word, why can't you just be happy?
Mm-hmm.
That that's what you're going toward, and your happiness is evolving, and that's why you're being called. It's not because you're not happy. What the real um, I think the masked comment in why can't you just be happy is
Mm-hmm.
why can't you just continue to tolerate this level of discomfort so that
Wow.
I don't have to change? Or,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Yes.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
And so making that okay, like that takes time identifying
Yes.
I'm willing to break the social contracts that I made to show up in a different way and to tolerate the discomfort of other people as a result of my stirring and awareness and awakening
Mm-hmm.
and being okay with that. And then realizing that okay, you just found a parking space at the trail. You haven't even like started walking
Oh,
trail yet.
it's really true that it was a big process. I
Yeah,
do say it like, "Oh, I did this, and here I am."
right.
It's amazing.
It is. And it didn't take 5 days. There are no 21 days to abundance or, you know, 13, doing a whole 30 diet in January. That is not going to get you the end result. But what it does is it helps you like have a pattern interrupt to start changing your thoughts, which again is in service to you on this trail. But
Hmm.
the thing that's been coming up for me this morning that
What's
feels
that?
I'm so lit up about is this understanding and this realization we're playing the long game.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's how we do it. I infuse my own gin. I caramelize onions. I am not about anything fast. I am about slow and intentional, knowing that there's a beautiful result on the other end. I don't make my dinner in a microwave. I use a Le Creuset. I am braising things.
Mm.
I am
I want
about
to come over for dinner.
Please do. I am about the journey. I am about
Wow. Yes.
experience. I am leaning into these things that are of high quality and
Mm-hmm.
making them even better through the process of intention and time and presence.
Yeah.
I can burn the onions if I don't pay attention, but you cannot fast track caramelizing onions. It just doesn't happen. So as much as I am
That's a great
aware,
metaphor.
thank you. It just came to me this morning, and it's like we are women who have sourdough starters, and like we want the baguette made by the guy that has the grandpa's recipe who's bought the oven in
Well, we live
France,
in America.
brought it here. Like, like he brought the oven from France. Like we want things with a story. We want things with time and intention.
Hmm.
Yet
We
when
want it now.
because because of the discomfort.
There you go. There you go. So it's all about discomfort. And yet, I remember saying one time I was getting ready to give a speech, and I was so nervous and so uncomfortable. And, when it was over, I felt so elated. And what I realized then, and so I started using this phrase, on the other side of hard is heaven.
Mm, right.
On the other side of discomfort is heaven, is everything that you're looking for.
Right. Right. It's on the other side of courage, on the other side of
It's on
everything.
the other side of all of these things that we don't want to experience, and yet they lead us to these heavenly places.
Right.
So I bet for people who are listening right now, they could probably think of something that they've done that was so uncomfortable that ended up being something that was heavenly. I bet you every single person who's listening right now has something that they could offer us to tell us what they did. Because what our brains do is when we do something like that, our brains make note. And we are teaching our brains that when we're uncomfortable, it's pleasurable because our brains love pleasure.
Right.
Hate,
Right.
pain, love, pleasure. So even if we can be in an uncomfortable place, but actually be able to manage our minds about on the other side of this is everything that I want, is a much better thought than I'm so scared to death I don't think I can get up there.
Right. And how can we, which I think that this is what we are in the business of doing,
Mm-hmm.
is helping people navigate by inviting them to understand the difference
Yeah.
between resistance
Yes.
and intuition.
Yeah.
Because, right? So
Yes.
sometimes the
Yes.
resistance is
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable because let's say I'm going to start a business and I need
Yes.
to go live on Instagram or have a podcast,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable in that because it feels vulnerable. It means I'm casting a vote for myself. It's a one woman show. Like, I better be in it because I know the statistics that podcasts, the majority of podcasters don't get past 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's called pod fade. And
Never heard it.
in it,
I never
yeah,
heard that before. I'm glad I never heard that.
that's right. Like they're in it, but then they don't give themselves
Yes,
the remembrance that we are playing the long game.
there you go.
And so that's a discomfort that
Yes,
is
it is.
moving you. It's calling you into the direction of the woman you're becoming. Intuition, on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
is, and it's fascinating because the example I'm going to use just happened, and it's so fascinating because it started on Thursday morning, which is when I interviewed you for the podcast. And if you remember my comment about substituting the pleasure of cookies,
I remember. I
that
hope we
feels
talk about it
safer,
again.
right? Than the pleasure of opening myself up to love and partnership and all of these things, as I've just, my listeners know, but I was married for 22 years and then had a 3.5 year divorce. So it's
Not
been
comfortable? Not
5
comfortable?
years. That was uncomfortable in the calling me into the woman I'm becoming. Like that was totally it. And thank you for saying that because we only can exercise these muscles with use, right? But I had an encounter that felt like, ooh, this could potentially be the beginning of a relationship. And
Wow,
it
uh-huh.
happened very easily and thought, well, isn't that fabulous? I didn't have to get on an app. I only had to get in an elevator. Like, that's amazing. And it felt so good. And it was just this person found me after an encounter in New York City and was communicating with me on Thursday. And then it was getting very deep and very demonstrative
Mm,
very quickly, which that would feel lovely. That was not my experience in my marriage.
mhm,
That's something that I crave. Like that would be beautiful.
mhm.
However, this person has a wife
Oh,
and that didn't feel good to me to be the recipient of these generous, kind words
mhm.
while not knowing if she picked up the phone, would she be equally thrilled and delighted at how generous he is with his words to another woman? It just it started quickly to not feel good
Yeah.
in my body. And
Mhm,
so I had to journal like, okay, is this me? Like, am I in resistance? Is this an upper limit that like I'm only available for love if it looks like this little box?
mhm.
Or obviously, I'm not available for love to someone who's not available. But at the same
Who's
time, like,
acting like he's available?
yeah. And that was weird. It was all weird because he didn't, yeah. Anyway, it
Yeah.
was super weird. And I sat in that discomfort for longer than my body was telling me to.
Okay.
And what I was doing was, well, maybe I'm just reading into this. Well, maybe like
Your mind was
trying to tolerate and
make up
people
stuff.
please and discount what my body was truly telling me. And
Yeah.
then my other side of my enlightened self just said, hey, wait a minute. You've been practicing for 6 years that it is safe to listen to your body and to know what feels good and what feels uncomfortable in an expansive way and what feels uncomfortable in a misaligned way.
Mhm.
And you get to trust that. And
Mm. Uh,
who cares what this person who you didn't even know 4 days ago thinks of your decision to honor yourself? So I said, hey, this does not feel comfortable to me. I've been training myself to listen and trust myself, and I did not apologize. And I did not make excuses. I just said, this doesn't feel good to me.
mhm.
And thankfully, he respected that, and there has been no more communication. But
Mhm.
all to say,
Uh-huh.
I know what it feels like
Mhm.
to be in resistance.
Mhm.
And I know what it feels like to be using my intuition. And I think one thing that happens when we are dipping our toe into those uncomfortable feelings or in
Yeah.
those quote unquote negative emotions
Mhm.
is we don't have the practice, we haven't done the
Right.
reps, we haven't exercised those muscles of knowing the difference and trusting that we know the difference,
Mm-hmm.
that's another reason why it feels scary to change.
Mm-hmm. And it's also unknown. Like you don't really know. It's not the problem in life is that it's sort of an unknown territory at all times.
Right.
And sometimes we think we know things that we really don't know. Like you think that when you're through with me, you're going to go do something else, whatever it
Right.
is on
I'm
your
going to send you a
schedule.
picture.
And you think you know that.
Right.
But you know what? You really don't know if you're even going to get to that.
Right.
I mean, everything is unknown. Everything is, you don't know beyond this minute. And I
Right.
and I like to say that only because first of all, it helps you to really embrace this moment because we have it. I mean, this is the only thing I can be sure of.
Right.
Is this conversation I'm having with you right now is the only thing. Everything after this, I have no idea. But my brain says, oh, I got a good idea of what's happening so we're good. But when something like that happens to you and it seems so unknown, it seems different.
Right.
But
Right.
really, everything
Right. It's
other
totally.
than the present moment is you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes. And I love that because even when we get to that future thing on the to-do list or on
Yes,
the calendar, it's also right now.
that's right. It
And when
becomes your
tomorrow happens,
now.
it'll be right now. So
It becomes your now.
practicing presence
Yes,
is not something, it's not a nice to have. It's a it's a practice that we do that helps us in every area of our life because every moment that we're interacting with the thing is now where all of our power is. And
that's
I
correct.
think
I agree.
to also thank you. I'm so glad. That's
I
why we
know.
have
I
great
really do.
conversations because we
I
agree
really
on the
do.
big stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the feeling that I felt
Hmm.
after having that courageous conversation, and it
Yeah.
felt courageous because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. It's being nice to me. That is what I asked for, but in a
Hmm.
different package, like to realize, oh, that was contrast. That's helping me fine tune what I actually want. I would
Hmm.
love someone who's generous with their words and who shouldn't be saying them to somebody else instead of me. Like it was, that's helpful information. But what happened on the
Hmm.
other side of my courageous conversation,
Yeah.
the level of relief
Ah, there you
and
go.
calm and non-thought about the previous few days helped me know, oh, great. Like I took the right fork in the road. That's so good. This is a vote for who I'm becoming. And I know that I live in an abundant universe and there's not just one elevator and one person. And now I've missed my shot at love. So it's a good thing I like podcasting. I mean, it's not like we're not missing out on what's meant for us, whether
I
we
love that.
have courage or not.
Yes. And I think for you, knowing how see, you had the heaven afterwards,
Yeah.
right? You had
Yep.
the feeling,
Yep.
which your brain is now taking notes on,
Right.
and you are developing that muscle even more that will help you the next time because there will be a next time and the
Right.
next time. I mean, we will keep getting it as long as we're human beings in this world. We will
Yes.
keep getting it. And I think as we get older, I think that we have the opportunity to really develop that muscle if we're not afraid to develop it. Like you're saying, I had the courage. If I have the courage to develop that muscle and you talk like that to yourself because you're doing such a good thing for yourself,
Yep.
helping yourself in the future, helping yourself to get closer to what you really want. You meaning your spirit, your soul, not your mind that says all kinds of jibbly job that means really nothing. It sounds
Right.
so brilliant, but really means nothing.
Which is what
And
I verbally process on the podcast and in these chats because
you
it
do.
it's less convincing when I say it out loud than
Uh-huh.
when it's on replay in my mind.
And I think that's a very, very good point about, I think even like when I'm coaching people, to have people talk to me so that I can hear the thoughts that are running around in their minds. And then I can say them back to them and say, what do you think about what you just said? Do you really believe it? And most of the time, when I give it back, it's almost like, did I say that? I go, that's what you're saying to yourself all the time.
Right.
And you don't even notice that it's being said and that you're listening and that you're obeying because it's not mindful. We're not taught to really watch our minds and to
Right.
watch our thoughts and to know
Right.
that just because we think something doesn't mean anything.
And at the same time, now, and I love that you're saying this because it's something that when I first entered this personal development,
Yes.
spiritual development world 6
Yep.
years ago, there's one thing like, okay, these thoughts are not facts, they don't mean anything. And
That's
then
correct.
we're turning thoughts into things. If you can think it, you
Yes,
can
we
have
are.
it. So,
Yes, we are.
and I
Amen,
love that.
sister.
Yes, and those are not opposing thoughts. They are an invitation to choose to think about the thing that you actually want to manifest. Do you want to manifest this over here that you're not good enough and no one's listening to you and you're never going to make any money and you should just sell the house and get an apartment or in a job or
There you
whatever, like
go.
nonsense that sounds
That's right.
awful is going on in your head?
That's
So
right.
we are constantly manifesting. And if someone believes that they are in a rut, that they're not stuck, they're not going anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
it's not true. You're just manifesting the same thing that you don't want over and over by paying attention to these recycled thoughts and what being mindful and present, like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
allows us to do is to hit pause and say, wait a minute, I do want lovely things said about me, and I want it in a different package, and I'm going to be more concerned about my experience than how this other person is going to integrate my mean message to them saying, I no thank you. Right? Like I have decided to not be a high functioning codependent and worry more about these other people's opinion or experience. And I'm choosing,
Lucky you.
well,
Lucky
I am playing the
you.
long game, Queen. Like that had to be a sticky note above my computer for a long time that said,
Uh-huh.
own your experience. And
Mm-hmm.
I had to have it there and I had to remind myself because
Beautiful.
not only was I reminding myself to own my experience,
Mm-hmm.
I was reminding myself that in doing so, I am allowing everybody else to own theirs. I
Mm-hmm.
am no longer the police of the world to make sure that everybody is doing what they need to be doing so that I can have a good time, or make sure that all the conditions are beneficial so they can have a good time because then that's predictable and then I'll have a good time because I know they're taken care of. And ugh, it's
Oh,
exhausting.
I can relate though. I do
Right.
relate.
Yes, because we were conditioned to be this way and nobody's mad when we are high functioning codependents.
Except
We're not living our own life.
except us. The only people that are mad
Exactly.
is inside of
Exactly.
us. And the
Exactly. And
anger at ourselves shows up in all kinds of ways. And that's
And
just
because we
that.
don't want to feel it, we eat it.
There you go. I'm not saying that's the only thing we do,
Oh, right,
but the
right, right.
reason that I got into all this with the eating is I know that a lot of women want to lose weight and it's a big deal because of the culture that we live in. So I know it's very attractive. So I
Mhm.
like to use it, but I want them to come to me so that I can help them learn how to know what's going on up here. So not only will their bodies change, their lives will change because they learn how to see what's going on in their own heads.
Right.
Like what we're talking about right now, like what you're talking about. It is very hard for us to see it ourselves.
For
Very
sure.
difficult, especially like when we were talking about in your podcast, when you're eating something that you think is so delectable and so delicious and so pleasurable, what could be possibly wrong with that? It's like you sweet thing, thank you so much for taking care of me, is the wiring that's going on so that you don't have to see what's going on. And if somebody like myself can't come up to you and say, I can tell you what's going on, because everybody wants to lose weight. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But when I
Right.
say, well, okay, today what you're going to do is when you want that cookie, you're not going to eat it. Only, not because I care if you eat a cookie or not, only because I want you to feel what it feels like if you don't eat it.
Mhm.
And sometimes for some people, it is unbearable.
Right. Right.
But sometimes, many times, it's like, I did it. And you become very powerful inside yourself when you realize that you're the one that decides if you want to put anything in your mouth. It doesn't, and nothing out there controls you.
That's right.
Cookies, I have had people say, well, cookies, they just kind of, I don't know how they made it into my mouth. I don't know how I ate so many. I mean, the things that I hear from smart, brilliant women when they talk about food sounds like they're not so smart
Right.
and they're brilliant.
Right.
And I
Right.
even was thinking of an occasion when I was out and I was at a business dinner and it was a bunch of women entrepreneurs. And the waiter came and dropped off a bread basket. And one by one, the women would take the bread basket and pass it on to the next woman and say, here, you hold it. I can't keep it by me.
Hmm.
Everybody was afraid of the bread basket because they didn't believe that if it wasn't far enough away from them, they would eat it. Like it would jump in their mouth. Not that their hand would take it and put it in their mouth, but somehow it had that kind of control that they had to keep it far away. So I like keeping things in closer. Like I don't like people getting rid of things that they like in their house. I want
Right.
them to keep it.
Right. Right. Because we're looking for unconditional alignment. We're looking for,
Yes.
regardless of what is in arm's reach, I'm choosing me. And
Yes.
sometimes I'm choosing a cookie, but it's the mindfulness, it's the
Yes.
presence, it's I get like we are playing the long game. You're sell them what they want and give them what they need. Like that's what we're doing in the way that we are inviting people in.
Yes.
The methodology or the end game, it's the same for all of these things. It's being mindful, it's being present, it's trusting yourself, it's listening, it's asking yourself the right question or
Yeah.
just the question, not the right question, but the question. There are so many beautiful journal prompts, of course, but
Mhm.
one that I've been using
What's that?
are from Amber Ray. She is an author and
Hmm.
she leads journaling workshops. And
Love it.
so she says, when you're having an uncomfortable emotion,
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab your journal and say, right, hey, Wendy, this is fear talking, and this is what I need you to know. And then write whatever fear wants you to know. And the beautiful thing of writing is it slows down the thoughts, but they're also coming fast enough that I had no idea I was going to write that. And whew, oh, wow, that doesn't even sound like me. Whose voice is that?
Mm-hmm.
Actually sounds more like my ex-husband than my fear. Okay, thank you for
Interesting.
showing me this.
Yeah.
Let me speak to this. But then the other beautiful, gorgeous, yummy journal prompt on the other side of that
Mm-hmm.
is, what does love want me to know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so beautiful because it is always tender and
Mm-hmm.
always restorative and always a vote for the woman I'm becoming.
Mm-hmm. And love always feels good.
Yes, and it's my birthright. It's
It's your birthright.
my lesson today in A Course in Miracles. It might be my most favorite one.
Are
God's
you?
will.
I just started studying A Course in Miracles.
You did.
I
Yay.
just started it.
I'm on my third year through.
Wow.
So
Well, now I can see why you are where you are.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I am playing the long game.
Oh, I hear that. I hear
Yeah.
that.
So
It's
this is
interesting how many things that we have in common
I
without
know because we're one.
we
It's so
are
good.
we just forget who we are. That's all.
Right. So today's lesson is God's will for me is perfect happiness.
Mm. Everybody who's listening,
Good.
soak that in for just a second. Take a pause and soak that in. And Wendy, say it one more time, please.
God's will for me is perfect happiness.
There you go.
You know what? That might not even actually be the right words because perfect doesn't sound right. Hold, please. Oh, it is. God's will for me is perfect happiness.
I love it.
It's so
Very
easy.
God's will for me is perfect happiness.
And sometimes the cookie is is perfect happiness. And sometimes the cookie is the most easy way to avoidance.
It could be a
So
cover up.
it's
It's
not
either a cover up or it's actually a pleasurable thing.
right. So it's
Right?
not that like you've said, it's not that the cookie is bad. It's
No,
being present in the moment to say, sometimes it's a cookie, sometimes it's a cup of coffee, sometimes it's tea, sometimes it's another episode of Grey's Anatomy, sometimes it's going to bed, sometimes like it's constantly evolving.
mm-hmm.
It's not one size fits all. It's not one answer. This is what I need to do whenever this happens.
That's
No,
correct.
what except for the thing you need to do whenever that happens is pause, is breathe in through your nose. Have your exhale be a little bit longer. All of these are somatic signs
That's
of
right.
safe, it's calm. And then check in. Ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? What would it feel like to be fully supported in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Another breath, another deep breath would feel very
Mm-hmm.
supportive.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe closing my eyes for 5 minutes would feel supportive. Maybe going for a walk, maybe sending that email, maybe recording a podcast because you're completely lit up. Like, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know into the future. We only know what this present moment needs and means and is calling us to. And the only way that we can know is by being mindful, by being present.
The present moment will take, if we are really present of the present moment, we will create a beautiful future. Our
Yes.
present moment will help us do that. It's when we're not in the moment thinking about the future. Usually, I don't know. I think usually when we're thinking about the future, we're never thinking about it in this beautiful, positive way.
Hmm, that's interesting.
I think that sometimes what we do is we play into all the terrible things that could happen, not usually the wonderful things that could happen. That's usually our primal brain is setting us up to keep us safe
Right, right, right. And we're creating by default.
because
Where
we're
what,
not paying attention. We're
right,
not.
and being present allows us to be the deliberate creator of our experience.
Amen, sister. You got it. And you know what? Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
One of the easiest ways to really practice the present moment is to do what I call a joy eat.
Ooh,
And basically, what it is, it's picking one of your favorite, I call them non nutritious foods, something that has no nutritious value. That's usually what a joy food is
okay,
that you enjoy. You like the
okay,
taste, but it doesn't have any nutritious value. So there's no reason to eat it in terms of trying to fuel yourself.
right,
The only reason that you're doing it is because it tastes so good and you want to enjoy it. So if you can take it, and I have a tedious, powerful worksheet that I actually use where you write down bite by bite what every bite actually
Mm.
tastes like. It's a
Oh, I love
mindfulness
that.
journey into eating. It's like I learned it from a Buddhist retreat about eating raisins. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. About
No.
many Buddhist teachers, and I'm sure this is not just in Buddhism, but that's where I learned it about the mindfulness of eating anything. So they use a raisin because it's so small,
Okay.
and you eat it one little bite at a time and you describe it to yourself what it tastes like.
Hmm.
And every bite tastes a little bit different, is what we all learn as we're doing it and how long it actually takes to eat one little raisin. So I learned this a long time ago and used it as part of how I wanted to incorporate food and the mind. So this powerful, tedious worksheet, I give it to people and I tell them to pick out their very favorite food, but to do it with this mindfulness exercise. And so many people find out so many things about these foods that they hold in such high self and high esteem of how much they love it. Sometimes they don't love it as much as they think they do. But the biggest thing that happens is they enjoy it more than they've ever enjoyed it before. Number
Right.
one, because they're saying eat it. Many people, when it comes to joy foods, who have been on diets their whole life, don't know how to enjoy those foods. They're either eating
Right.
them mindlessly with guilt and shame. They don't know how to eat it. And it's like I don't think you can ever really be at peace with food if you don't believe that you can eat whatever you want.
Exactly. Right.
And so
Right.
this mindfulness exercise on just eating something that you really like, but really stopping the minute you're through enjoying it. That's the key.
Not when
Not
it's done.
not when it's done and not when you're full, because I don't even care if you eat it if you're hungry or not. It's not a matter of hunger. You're not
Right.
eating it because you're hungry.
Right.
You're eating it because it tastes good.
Right.
And how much do you need is so interesting when you try something like that. Like if you have these cookies that you like make that are so amazing, it'd be a
Yes.
wonderful mindfulness exercise to do it with something like that so you actually taste it.
Right. Right. And I do believe that I am.
I
And they
believe you
taste
probably
so
are
good.
too.
Right? I love this process so much because afterward, you have access to all of those good feelings without
Yes,
the
you do. That's right. And you get to really, I mean, it's just like savoring anything.
right. Right. It's
These foods were
retelling a
meant you
beautiful
can savor them.
story. Yes.
And speaking of that, like with the holidays,
Yes.
it's a perfect time. Sometimes I think what people do during the holidays is they want to just check out.
Mm.
At least that's what I wanted to do. Is I would say I'm leaving. I'll see you in January, you do whatever you want. It's like giving a kid with a knife and saying, I hope you are alive when I see you again.
Don't cut yourself.
Just try to be careful.
Right.
And I think if you can start telling yourself, if you're going to eat whatever it is that you can eat whatever you want,
Hey,
but can you enjoy it bite by bite and stop the minute that you're through, whatever it is that you're eating? Because I mean, some of the things around the holidays are things that you're never going to see again. Now,
right.
some people use that as a reason to disconnect from their bodies and go, well, you just go ahead and do it because they're going to be gone.
Right.
Let's just get it all done. See you in January, as opposed to I can eat it whenever I want, but I want to make sure that when I eat it, I enjoy it bite by bite. And your enjoyment factor will go up, not just about that. You're training your brain to pause and take pleasure in.
Yes. Yes. Which then you can incorporate that practice into everything.
It's the point.
The sunset,
The
the way
yeah,
the snow falling, the moss, the lichen growing on the rocks, the beautiful woods. It's you
it's
just
all this. It's like, and one of the things that I say, I love the word savor.
me too.
And I think like when there's something negative going on, we can get repetitious about it in our heads.
Mhm.
And I think when something is beautiful and you're savoring it, it's really easy to move on to the next thing. And so the way we hold on to negative, because that's kind of the way our brains are trained, but
Right.
you can train your brain to hold on to the beautiful, positive stuff by really savoring the moment and making it last. Because you can make it last longer, just like you can make
Oh,
negative stuff.
for
You
sure.
can repeat it, you can get repetition about it for days.
For sure. I am using my Christmas tree as like a straight into the vortex dopamine hit, whatever it is that's actually happening in my brain. I have them on, I have three trees in the house and I
Is
have them
that
on,
all?
I know, I know.
I
Um,
love it.
and me too. I have them on on timers.
Oh,
So
that's brilliant.
in the morning when I get up at 4:45 and I come down and I make my coffee and the all the trees are in the main house, which is separate from my living quarters. And but I open the door and I just take a peek.
Uh,
Good morning, gorgeous. Like I'm just so delighted
Delightful.
and happy to see it.
Hmm.
And it's we can find those things like what is my quick hit of my joy infusion, like whatever, is it a song on the radio, is it dancing? There's this one, this Costco that is the closest Costco is kind of far, and it has this underground parking because I live in Massachusetts now, so
Uh-huh.
underground parking is very smart.
Hmm.
And because you most likely have a cart when you go there for all of the fantastic things. There is a long, long, long ramp down to the parking area.
Hmm.
And every single time, whether I'm with Amelia or by myself, I push the cart and then I step on the thing. So I'm just riding the cart down
Oh my gosh.
and I'm not like that's not me. Like
Well,
Amelia
it
said
is
when
you.
she was young, like, Mom, I'm sorry, but Dad's the fun one. I'm like, that's
Mm.
okay. I'm really not interested in being the fun one because
Yeah.
I got stuff to do. But that is like this gleeful, even outside of my own comfort zone thrill of something fun to do. And it's so silly, but it really
Yeah.
delights me. And nobody else does. I've never seen, I mean, I'm sure other people do it. I've never seen another person do that coming down that ramp, but everyone
But
that I'm passing smiles at me so big because I'm smiling so big.
yeah, it's like how much joy. The only the way you get joy is you give it to yourself.
That's right.
Joy is a feeling. It comes
Yes,
from a thought. It doesn't come from things.
that's right. That's right. Some things remind us to think the thought, but we don't need
That's
the
right.
back to the unconditional alignment. I don't need any conditions to change before I can feel good because that is
There you
an
go.
inside job.
There you go. And I want to tell you while we're here is that I consider what is going on right now with the holidays, I consider it like the master class of the year
Totally.
because whatever it is you need to learn, whatever you put in your mouth when you don't want to be putting something in your mouth, there's something for you to learn. Every time you drink something and you don't want to be, there's a difference between want to be and don't want to be. There's
Right.
something going on that you can learn, right? And so instead of thinking anything negative, it's more like I'm going into the biggest class of the year, the master class where my best teachers are.
Right.
The most I have to learn, this is where I'm going to learn it. And every time you go anywhere for the rest of this year, I want everybody to be thinking of that as who are my teachers and what do I want to learn that I haven't learned yet. And what that is anything that triggers you, be it a chocolate chip cookie or be it your uncle, your aunt, or your ex
Mhm.
husband,
Mhm.
whatever it is. And I'm actually doing a master class this week
Fantastic.
on the master class.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Yay.
So, teaching people in this class how to handle these big events that are coming up that are here to teach you things and to be able to bring it up and to show you how you can manage your mind in a different way.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, please send me the link
I
to
will.
that masterclass. I will put it in the description for this coffee chat and then also send an email to my community letting them know that this is ready and that that link is there.
Yep.
Brilliant. And thank you for the powerful, tedious workshop or yeah,
Worksheet,
worksheet. Thank you. I knew
workbook,
it was a
all
word
the same.
something because that is a process that we can do when we have a little more time and
You
space.
need a little more
The
time.
leftover cookies that we're packaging to send across the country,
There you
um,
go. It'll be a
right? Which is,
perfect time.
I know I'm so excited to do it. And, but I love this masterclass on the masterclass as well, because there are still parties to attend and parties to host. And when we're going in to a situation from a place of curiosity
I
and
love it.
discovery and not like, oh, I wonder what this Yahoo's going to say this time.
Exactly.
Instead of, but going in, I wonder what I'm going to learn. Like,
There you go.
for me, like
Curiosity.
bumping up against my growth edges, like,
I, th-
ooh,
oh
that,
my gosh.
oh, that's fascinating. Let's get a flashlight in there. That's
You
interesting.
have said it exactly how I could say it. Yes, it's what am I going to learn? What can I learn? And what do you want to know is anything or anybody that brings up something in you that doesn't feel good is something there for you to learn. And before the trigger happens is when you want to think about it.
Right. And I think we can also be curious, like what triggered me and what
Exactly.
inspired me.
Oh, I love that.
Because
I
if
love
we're
that.
only, I mean, we're going to find what we're looking for. So let's look for all the fun things we can find and not just the negative. But when we're seeing, and because then we can go like, oh, I'm in one room and I've got some triggers and
Love.
I've got some
I love that
inspiration.
too.
How can I spend more of my time over here and still be here, still be present, still made my appearance, and was the deliberate creator of my experience rather than creating by default? I knew that was going to happen. I knew if he said that, that it was going to make me feel this way.
There
And
you
that's
go.
exactly what happened. Once
You
again,
must must have happened to you before.
yeah. Well, right. Like every day of my life. But I just thought that
Yeah.
if I kept showing up, it would somehow magically be different because I was outsourcing my power. I didn't
Yeah.
know that I'm the creator of my experience. I
Mhm.
thought it's very important that you all act in a certain way. So I'll even host the party. I'll even do all the work. All you have to do is come. But when you come, you need to come in this way that I need you to come, and then I'll feel good. That's nobody can read our minds, and that's so much.
I think you know what? I think what you're saying is really a great way to end too, is that not only nobody can read our minds, but we also can't read anybody else's mind. So I think it's just good to know because I work with a lot of people who think they're mind readers.
Right, right. And it's a distraction. If
It's
I spend all of my
But you
time,
can read your own mind. The
that's
only thing
right.
you
If
know for
I pay
sure,
attention,
if you pay attention, the one thing you know for sure is you can figure out what's going on in your mind. If you want to
that's right.
be a mind reader of your own mind. Work
Exactly.
on that and get out of other people's business.
Please.
How's that for an ending?
Gorgeous. Thank you so much. You are my favorite.
Oh,
So fun.
Wendy, thank you. Can we do this again?
Please, all the time. I can't wait.
Okay. All righty.